Welcome to step 4. This step is called reflect. In the previous videos, I addressed the first 3 steps to getting things done. Step 1 was capture, step 2 was clarify, step 3 was organize, and now we're at step 4, reflect. Reflect is the pause button to your life. We're going to just pause life for a moment and reflect. This is where what we're doing and why we're doing gets revisited. Reflect will accomplish 3 things. It'll help you get clear, get current, and get creative. Reflect helps us not travel through life in autopilot. Traveling, there are certain times where we need to be in autopilot, but we don't want to always be in autopilot. There are times when we need to get off of autopilot and just pause, put life on hold, and check with our calendar, check with our system that we've been creating. If we use the analogy of you're the author of your life, steps 1, 2, and 3, capture, clarify, organize, you are writing into your system. Writing as in pen and pencil writing, not like riding a horse. You're writing into your system. And in step 4, you are the editor of your life. So we are adjusting what's happening so that we don't just keep on doing something that doesn't quite make sense or isn't quite working. So let's get started. Let me look at my notes really quick. Let me read you a definition of reflect. To review and update the contents of your maps to bring them up to date with your current reality so you can make informed and effective choices. So remember, your maps are the tools that we used to organize our items, our actionable items and our non-actionable items. We addressed that in the previous videos. So we're going to be thinking about how often do we do this reflect. Well, reflect, or I'm going to use reflect and review interchangeably. We're going to do a daily review as well as a weekly review. So we're going to be doing it twice, in daily and weekly. Our daily one might happen in the morning and the afternoon, depending how busy you are. You might have to visit that daily review even in the middle of the day. So for sure, once in the morning, once in the evening, this is what daily review is going to include. You're going to look at your calendar, and the purpose is to make sure you know what to do today. So you look at your calendar and remind yourself of what you need to get done. Now, when I'm working with my college students, this daily review of the calendar is that 24-hour weekly map that I asked my college students to fill out. So that 24-hour weekly map has their classes, and that generally doesn't change the whole semester. And then it also has a place for you to enter appointments. So you could do this on a paper calendar. You could also do this on Google Calendar. So you want to have a daily 24-hour weekly calendar that has a 24 hours so you can see when you're available and not double commit, not double book. Double booking doesn't work for the airlines, and it really doesn't work for us, so we don't want to double book. So this is where the daily view in the morning and the afternoon, you're looking at your 24-hour weekly planner. The other thing you're looking in the morning and the afternoon in the daily review is your next actions list. Now, by looking at that next actions list, you're going to be able to see what you don't need to get done today and be okay and not be worried or stressed or feel guilty because you're not doing something. You can look at your daily to-do, your next act. It's not your to-do list, it's your next action list. And I decide, those next actions that don't need to be done today, I can do them tomorrow. So when you have a safe place to get those done, then you can focus on today what needs to be focused on today, which could be listening to a lecture, taking notes. It could be studying for the exam that you have in the morning. It could be writing a paper. So this is a great tool for focus and attention, that next action list, and looking at it in the morning and being able to decide these things do not need to be done today. I can safely focus on my other tasks and not neglect upcoming tasks. The checklist. This is the third thing. So what are we talking about right now? We're talking about the daily review. 1, we look at the calendar. 2, we look at next action list. 3, we look at checklists. Your checklist is one of the tools that we used in our organized step. And our checklists are the things that have multiple steps that we need to get done, but we don't know the routine yet. We don't know it by memory yet. So a checklist could be the things you need to pack in your gym bag, or the things that need to be included in your backpack, or maybe even the things I need to include in my lunch because I'm on a special dietary restriction things. So whatever the checklist is, you want to check it daily to see some things need to be checked daily. You might need to update that checklist, or you might need to erase something, take something off, or add something, or simply prepare for the next day. So there you go. That's your daily review. Now let's look at the weekly review. For weekly review, we're going to get clear. That's the purpose. We're going to get clear, we're going to get current, and we're going to get creative. So for getting clear in the weekly review, we're going to redo steps 1 and 2. We're going to capture and clarify. So we're going to capture all the stuff that got thrown at us during the week. It could be a pile of papers on the passenger side of your car. It could be a pile of papers on top of the kitchen table. It could be a pile of books and stuff that have accumulated at the foot of your bed. Maybe even stuff that you've been stuffing into your backpack. So all the stuff that came at you this week, we need to capture it and clarify it. So what you're wanting to do is you want to get all your inboxes, all those in buckets. Remember we talked about the in buckets? We want to get all those in buckets to empty. When we do that, when we capture and clarify all the incoming stuff that comes at us every week, even in our mind, digitally, our emails, then it clears up the brain, clears up your thinking and space so that you can focus on what needs to be focused on. This is a great focus and attention tool. Now, you want to do a mind sweep, you want to do an email sweep, you want to catch up with all your digital input also. Don't forget that. And you want to organize that and put it in your organizational system. Now, you want to get current. So you want to look at your calendar and look at previous events and see if there's anything you need to follow up on. Like maybe you went to an event and you need to follow up with emails, or you need to follow up with something that came up during that event, or maybe a promise you made. I will get together for coffee. You need to get that on your calendar. So you want to look at previous events and then put the things that you might need to follow up, maybe on your next action list, or maybe even it becomes a project, or even put it on your calendar. You also want to look ahead at the next week, upcoming events, and see what you might need to do to prepare for it now if it's not already on your next action list. Things come up that maybe you hadn't foreseen in the process when you were making your next action list. So looking ahead, you might need to update your next action list. And the next thing is get creative. What you're going to do here is you're going to visit your someday maybe list. So maybe you have something on there that says, for example, visit Paris. That would be a someday maybe, like maybe a dream. And this week you happen to see a poster on as you walk across campus about study abroad. So now you can take that idea off of someday maybe and put it on the project list. Study abroad. And so then what would be the next action for that project? Download application. So now you're able to be creative and address some of those someday maybe items, those dreams that made it onto your someday maybe list. So we've looked at weekly reviews, daily reviews, weekly reviews, and then revisiting your someday to integrate it into your projects and next actions. When I meet with my college students for the entire semester, when I meet with you, this is what we're doing. We're doing the reflect step every time I meet with my college students. And it's very, very effective. It helps with stress management. It helps with grades because your brain is cleared up so you can focus on the content and the information that you need to understand and think at the application level, at the analysis level, at the evaluation level. But if your brain is all cluttered with all this stuff that's coming in and it hasn't been captured, hasn't been clarified, hasn't been organized, then your brain can't really engage at the application, analysis, and evaluation level that maybe your professors are asking you to think at. Our next video is going to address engage. That's the 5th step. I want to invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, to like me on and follow me on my Facebook page, Ruth Bomar Academic Coach. Look me up on my website, sign up for my newsletter, and I'll see you in my next video. Talk soon.